All right, the Padres, they get the win to avoid the series loss against the Rangers. They can go for the series win tomorrow on July 4th before the boys head back home. On the day that Jurickson Profar was picked as an All-Star game starter, it was actually another outfielder that came up big in this game, and it was David Peralta. He was just saying telling Don and Mudd on the post-game interview, finally came up with his first home run in a Padres uniform. That obviously was what gave the Padres this lead there in the 7th inning, and then they win it by 2 runs, 13 hits, much different day for this Padres offense than last night, obviously. And what I loved was obviously not just Peralta, but big guys came through in this game as well. Manny with a homer. Crony had a couple of hits, scored a run in this game. So it was a lot of different guys that were contributing. And it was a team win with the pitching as well, obviously, because Adam Mazur did well in the first couple of innings. But then after that, it was like Dylan Cease last night, just too many pitches that were over the middle of the plate. Cease has more velocity than Mazur does. But with Mazur, when you leave pitches over the middle of the plate like that, it's 93 miles per hour. That's nothing to these Rangers hitters. That's nothing to major league hitters in general. And so that's going to get whooped. And that's exactly what happened. Bottom 3 here. So Manny has the homer, makes it 2-0. Taveras 2-1. And this is where the trouble happened. Seager with the double makes it 2-2. Over the middle of the plate, Josh Smith. I think it was in their happy place. Wasn't middle. It was more middle in. And you just can't do that to left-handed hitters at like 93 miles per hour. That's just not going to work. So Rangers had a 3-2 lead, 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 4th. But then, again, not just Manny, but other big guys. And I count Merrill as one of the big guys on this team because he has produced as one of the big guys on this team. I don't care that he is a rookie. Age, big league status, number of years in the league, that is just a number. Who is producing the most? And Merrill is near the top of that list. I think he should be in the All-Star game. We shall see about that. But he comes through, makes it 4-3. Was that ball hit hard? No. But as I've said many times this year, and Luis Arias has kind of reaffirmed this to the Padres players and us fans, you put the ball in play, good things can happen. Made it 4-3 there. And then Luis Arias came through with the single. I don't want to just give props to Luis Arias here in this situation. Like, I'll give props to him because he came through with a hit. But Ha-Sung Kim steals second base to get into scoring position. Then he's taking third on the pitch. Arias has the single. It's not like it was hit super deep or anything like that. And Kim's able to score. He doesn't steal second base. He doesn't score in that situation. He doesn't have a good jump on the pitch going to third. He doesn't score as easily as he did. So props to Ha-Sung Kim on that. I thought he played pretty good defense today as well. Made a couple of good plays, especially that one where he was running in on the ball. So, again, it was a team victory today. David Peralta with that homer, mistake pitch over the middle of the plate, and David Peralta made the Rangers pay there. This is someone that has been criticized on social media by Padres fans. I think I even said recently, like, he's not really doing much offensively. He's not doing great. So I may have said, like, I don't mind if Bryce Johnson's playing pretty much every day out there in the outfield because it's not like David Peralta has earned it. It's one homer, but maybe this will give him a little bit of more playing time over someone like Bryce Johnson, based on the matchups. We'll see. But it was a moment where I was happy for David Peralta. At the end of the day, these are our guys. And as much as fans want to crap on some guys when they're not performing, when they perform and they have a moment, I'm going to be pumped up for that guy. These are our guys. At the end of the day, we should be pulling for these guys. And the Padres got to win, which is what matters the most. Old friend Kirby Yates was in that game in the 9th inning for the Rangers. He had a quick inning there. But on the Padres side of things, Robert Suarez, another 4-out save, his 21st save on the year. Estrada, I mean, I'm still seeing that he's looking slimmer than he was. So I don't know if he's dealing with the sickness still, but he has not gained that weight back. At least it doesn't seem like that. He could, but it doesn't seem like it. So I'm not gonna. He struck out 2 guys anyway, but I'm not gonna like get on Jeremiah Estrada too much because let's remember what he has been going through here recently, and he was fantastic before we heard about this sickness, this illness, right? These flu-like symptoms that he's had, I think, for a few weeks. So hopefully that's gone. He just hasn't gotten the weight all the way back yet, and I don't even know if he's going to get that weight back because they're in season. I think for a pitcher, it's probably easier to do it than a position player, but we'll see on that. I really just want to give love to Jeremiah Estrada because that cannot be easy what he is dealing with. And then Adrian Morejon, inning and 2/3, doesn't give up any runs. Yuki, big inning and a third because Major only covered 4 innings, gave up 7 hits. Credit to him, he didn't walk anyone, but too many pitches over the middle of the plate, 93 miles per hour. That's not going to get the job done at the big league level unless you get lucky with a bunch of double plays. Remember that Angels outing, that first his big league debut, he got a good amount of double plays there. So Matsui, Morejon, Estrada, Suarez had to come in there, fill innings, and so props to them. And again, like I mentioned, pregame thoughts and postgame reaction yesterday, one of the bright spots was that hey, the back end guys will be good to go tonight. Everyone will be good to go because they didn't have to pitch yesterday. They had the day off the day before that. Like they were rested. And so that presented, the situation, I should say, presented itself where Suarez had to go 4 outs. Morejon had to go inning and 2/3. Matsui more than 3 outs. And they were able to do that. So if they can win tomorrow, that makes the first game of this series, losing that, a whole lot less worse, if that makes sense. Because you're going to take series wins on the road. I don't care how you get them. Take 2 out of 3, and I'm going to be happy. And so the Padres now, they're back to 4 games over 500. If they win tomorrow, they're obviously at 5 over. And I think we're going to be feeling really good going into this final homestand before the All-Star break if they can get that done. If not, I mean, they were still facing Max Scherzer, right? I'll probably say this tomorrow, facing Max Scherzer. Although we have Michael King on the mound, so I do feel good about that. He's been pretty nasty as of late. So yeah, I'll be disappointed if they lose the series, but they'll still be 4 games over 500, or no, they'll be 3 games actually. But it was a better spot than they were in a couple weeks ago, right? So if they can keep making this type of progress, you want these series wins on the road when you can get them, especially when the Rangers are 8 games under. You want to get it, no doubt about that. But I still see that they're making progress here. And let's remember, they're without Xander, who's on a who's starting a rehab assignment tomorrow in AAA El Paso. So that's good news. I think he's aiming to be back before the All-Star break, but we'll see on that. Campy, he should be back, I think, when the guys get back home to San Diego. But they're playing without key guys, obviously. Tatis, named a starter in the All-Star game, and that's what I want to get to here. He is not going to be playing in the All-Star game, right? Unless something miraculous happens. He's just walking without pain. That's the good sign, the good update that we have from Schulte right now. So I'm hoping, actually, I said this earlier on social media, I'm hoping that Merrill is Tatis's replacement. In starting the game, yeah, that would be great. I don't think that's going to happen. I hope that he just makes the All-Star game and is not a replacement because he deserves to just make the game. With even if all these guys were not hurt and the guys that make the roster are just on the roster and there's no replacements, I think he deserves to just make it. Go look at Fangraphs and look where he ranks among National League outfielders. He's like top 5, right? Maybe even top 4. So it's the Padres 3 outfielders and Brandon Nimmo, I think, the last time I checked. So he deserves it. You want personality in the All-Star game? Jackson Merrill is one of those guys. Someone that's going to go out there and compete. And I know the All-Star game is about fun, but I still want to see those guys go out there and compete. Jackson Merrill is going to want to do that. So I think this is a good opportunity for Major League Baseball to market one of their young stars. I know that a lot of love is being given to like Bobby Witt or Gunnar Henderson, guys like that, Paul Skeens, and they deserve it, no doubt about that. But I think Jackson Merrill deserves it as well. And so I will be happy for him when he is named a National League All-Star because I believe he will. I hope it's not as a replacement because I don't want like that maybe asterisk on it. I want him to just be named an all-star because I think he deserves it. And then Profar. So happy for Jerks and Profar getting the nod for his first all-star game. Starting in the all-star game. This guy's journey, it's it's something that I don't think you'd ever want to go through, right? But it's been worth it. I think Profar was talking to the media earlier today about earning that all-star nod. And let's think about his journey here, right? He's this top prospect, number one prospect in baseball. He had the Little League World Series, right? Where, you know, we hear of his name first, right? Or at least my parents did. Um, and then number one prospect with the Rangers, a lot of hype. And then he comes up, there's injuries, there's underperformance. I think there's surgeries as well. Then he gets traded to the A's. That's one trade. He was traded again by the A's to the Padres. Then he ends up opting out of his contract. He signs with the Rockies on a 1-year deal. No other team wanted to give him what he wanted. 1-year deal. He ends up, I think, getting DFA'd. The Padres signed him on a minor league deal. He was on a minor league deal last year with the Padres at the end of the year. No other team wanted him on a major league deal at the end of that season. And the Padres in the offseason give him $1 million. That is nothing for a pro franchise. I don't care if you're the A's, if you're the Rockies, if you're the Marlins. $1 million is still nothing. And the Padres gave that to him. I don't know what his other offers were. I don't think that they were. I don't even know if he had other offers that were more money than that or like guaranteeing him a starting spot, you know? I don't even know if he was guaranteed a starting spot with the Padres at the time because they were interested in Tommy Pham, right? Merrill was playing some left field before he went to center field. But just the story of that, he's been battling with the knee issue, and for him to be the best outfielder in the National League this year, what a story that is. And now it's not even like his dream, but his son to be able to go to the All-Star game like that and Profar to get to see his son have like the week of his life is just going to be so cool for us Padres fans to experience, you know? And or just, see whatever clips that we can see. That's going to be awesome. That is going to be so awesome. So I hope that he enjoys that. Guy's an 879 OPS. His batting average after tonight is higher than Luis Ariza's. That shows how good he has been this year. Because a 310 average, while that's not 400, that's nothing to, just sniff at, right? So Profar, man, I know he's a fan favorite, and the whole irrelevant stuff that happened with Will Smith, and then he comes up, the national stuff, and then he hits a grand slam the next day, later in the game as well, right? Of the whole Keibert Ruiz stuff. It's been an amazing year so far from Profar, and I can't wait to see what the rest of this year will bring. But well deserved, no doubt about that. So he's going to be making another trip back to Arlington this month. We'll see if Tatis joins him. I think Suarez will join him. I hope Merrill will join him. Maybe Arise will join him as well. We'll see.